Jeffrey works 40 hours a week, has a job, pays his bills, does everything right, and he is completely, quietly, and mathematically broke. Not because he's stupid, not because he's lazy, because the country he lives in, the richest country on earth, was never actually built for him. Today we're going to prove it, with numbers and with comparisons. 1. The paycheck illusion. Our stickman makes $50,000 a year. Go say that out loud to someone in Mexico, or Vietnam, or Romania. Their jaw drops. $50,000 a year sounds like generational wealth to most of the world. Now go say it to a landlord in Austin, Texas. He laughs, because $50,000 a year in America is not comfortable. It's not stable. It's barely surviving in most cities that actually have jobs. Here's the math nobody shows you in school. Rent $1,500 to $2,000 a month minimum if he lives somewhere with a real job market. That's already $24,000 a year. Gone. Just to sleep somewhere. Health insurance, $400 a month if he's lucky enough to have an employer plan. And that's before he actually uses it. The deductible alone on most American plans is $3,000 to $7,000, meaning he pays for coverage, and then if something happens, he pays again before the coverage even kicks in. Car. Because outside of maybe 4 cities in America, there is no functional public transit, so he needs a car. Payment, insurance, gas, oil changes, tires. Another $700 to $900 a month. Now add groceries, add utilities, add his phone, which is required for modern employment, add the student loans from the degree he was told he needed to get a job worth having. $50,000. Completely gone. Every dollar accounted for, nothing left. And he didn't go on vacation. He didn't buy anything fancy. He just existed. He just lived, and it cost everything he had. This is not a budgeting problem. This is not a discipline problem. This is not a stop buying coffee problem. This is a structural problem built into the bones of how American life is priced. 2. Where is all the actual money? Because here's the part that makes your brain short circuit. America is not poor. America is extraordinarily, almost incomprehensibly wealthy. So if all that wealth exists, where is it? Why doesn't our stickman have any of it? The answer is that the wealth that makes America powerful on the global stage has almost nothing to do with the average person's paycheck. It comes from the dollar being the world's reserve currency. Every country on earth needs to hold dollars to do international trade. That creates permanent global demand for American money, a structural advantage baked into the world financial system since 1944 that has nothing to do with how hard Americans work. It comes from Wall Street, from financial instruments and investment vehicles that generate enormous returns for the people who already have capital to invest. The stock market went up 400% in the last 20 years. Our stickman's rent also went up. His salary did not keep pace with either one. It comes from American corporations, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, that are technically headquartered in America but earn money everywhere and pay taxes on as little of it as they legally can. Their profits are some of the largest in human history. Their contribution to our stickman's paycheck is essentially zero. It comes from foreign investment flowing into American real estate, American bonds, American companies, the whole world betting on American stability, which props up the system even when the underlying numbers stop making sense for regular people. The GDP of the United States is over $27 trillion. The median American adult has less than $1,000 in savings. Those two facts, same country, same year. The money exists. It just doesn't live anywhere near Jeffrey. 3. Why life feels easier. Outside America. Let's put our stickman on a plane. He lands in Germany. His friend there pays health insurance too, around 400 euros a month for his family. But there is no deductible, no surprise bill, no arguing with an insurance company about whether a surgery was necessary. He goes to the doctor. The doctor treats him. He goes home. Then he flies to Japan. His friend commutes to work on a bullet train, so reliable it arrives almost to the second. The ride costs a few dollars. The streets are clean. The city feels safe. The system works the way systems are supposed to work. Next stop, Canada. His friend had heart surgery last year. 4 days in the hospital, walked out without a bill waiting at the exit. Then Spain. His friend gets 22 paid vacation days every year by law. Not because his boss is generous, because the country decided workers deserve time to actually live. Then our stickman comes home to America. His train barely exists exists. His surgery cost $11,000 after insurance. He gets maybe 10 vacation days if his manager approves them. And if he wants to quit his job to start over or build something new, he risks losing his healthcare too. And that's the part people miss. American workers are not lazy. In fact, they are among the most productive workers on earth per hour worked. The problem is that the gap between what Americans earn and what life costs has become enormous compared to most developed countries. Because in America, the system was designed to extract value from the individual. Healthcare became a profit industry. Housing became an investment asset. Education became a debt product. Other countries looked at those things and decided they should function like public systems. America decided they should function like businesses. 4. Then why does everyone still want to go there? This is the real question, and you have to answer it honestly, because the answer is real. Freedom. Not the word on the bumper sticker. The actual thing. In America, the distance between an idea and a business is shorter than almost anywhere else on earth. The regulatory environment for starting something, the infrastructure for reaching customers, the culture around entrepreneurship, it's genuinely one of the most accessible systems in the world for someone who wants to build. If our stickman has a skill, a product, a concept, a perspective, he can put it in front of 100 million people from his apartment. He can go from zero to generating income faster in America than almost anywhere else. The system rewards speed, hustle, and novelty in a way most countries don't. The legal system provides real property rights. You can own something and it stays yours. There's a cultural tolerance for failure that doesn't exist everywhere. Starting a business and going broke is not shameful in America the way it is in societies with more rigid social structures. You can fail and try again, multiple times, and people will still take you seriously. And social mobility, imperfect, unfair, far from guaranteed, does exist. The class you're born into is not necessarily the class you die in. The story can change. So the tension is real, the cost is brutal, the possibility is also real. And depending on who you are, what you have, and what you're willing to do, America can be the worst place to be average and the best place to be exceptional. Most people are average. That's just math. And for them, the cost of living math is quietly devastating. 5. The thing that nobody says out loud. America works beautifully if you have capital. If you're an investor, a corporation, a highly paid specialist, someone who inherited wealth, or someone who inherited the kind of education and network that functions exactly like wealth. America is one of the greatest systems ever designed for multiplying what you already have. For everyone else, the stickman doing the jobs the country cannot function without, the nurse and the teacher and the warehouse worker and the driver. It is one of the most expensive and exhausting places to simply live a decent life. Other developed countries made different choices, higher taxes, social systems that distribute the cost of healthcare and education and transit across the entire population. America chose not to, which means the individual absorbs costs that elsewhere get spread around. Neither model is perfect. That's not the argument. The argument is simpler than that. If you are working hard, doing everything you were told to do, and you still can't get ahead, the problem is not you. You are doing it exactly right inside a system that was not designed to make that enough. Knowing that doesn't fix your rent. It doesn't lower your deductible. It doesn't make next month easier, but it does one important thing. It stops you from spending your energy blaming yourself for a math problem. And when you stop doing that, you can start using that energy on something that actually helps. Figure out how to play the game that exists, not the one that was advertised. Jeffrey is still at work on Monday morning. Paycheck already half spent before he even earns it, but he knows what game he's playing now.